Feedback Learnex. English forever.
Welcome everyone to this week's edition of Feedback Learnex, where we're going to take a look at the human brain and how or what its effect is on language. The human brain is, still today, one of the great enigmas of science. Its operation is the goal of many studies that not only want to know which brain region dominates certain acts, but also try to anticipate the onset of diseases such as Alzheimer's. In recent years, however, one of the fields that have been attracting more and more interest is the acquisition and mastery of language, and in particular, how a bilingual brain works, capable of handling with the same effectiveness in two different languages. Are bilingual people smarter? Are they better prepared for multitasking? Do their brains stay fit, as they say, for longer? Language learning. The way in which our brains acquire a language and we learn to speak has been studied by the scientific community, but there is no single theory that explains the process by which it is achieved. Among the innateness of Noam Chomsky, who argues that children are already born with innate linguistic skills that are activated depending on the environment, constructivism, or theories that point out that it is through communication and interaction with the environment as a child learns to speak, there are several explanations about the way in which our brains acquire language, many of them derived from the works of Jean Piaget. How a bilingual brain works. The increasingly diverse composition of societies leads to more studies on the functioning of the brain of a person who from childhood can talk, think, and develop complex tasks in two different languages, although the one you first learned, or the maternal, will always have a certain priority. In the way in which a person learns two languages, three factors intervene: the age of language acquisition, how well that language is spoken, and the cognitive control of language, that is, the process of selecting one language over another in the case of bilinguals. In the first factor, it is already shown that the learning period of our mother tongue is in the first years of life, between 5 and 7 years old. But are there differences between the ways in which children in that early period of their lives also acquire a second language? Bilinguals have a greater ability to concentrate on a task, ignoring interference around them. What is the difference between the brains of people who only speak one language and those who manage with the same level of efficiency to speak two? Scientists acquire their data by studying the flow of blood and oxygen to certain regions of the brain during the performance of certain tasks, and use magnetic resonance to do so. In this way, they can see that the speaker of a single language used more the regions of the brain that are dedicated to language, while bilinguals use more those focused on the control of language in making decisions related to it. That is the main difference between a monolingual and a bilingual brain, is in its ability to make decisions. It's not that some are smarter than others, but that they develop another skill set. For example, bilinguals develop cognitive abilities that allow them to adapt to changes in the tasks they are developing. This is because your brain is constantly choosing the language in which it is expressed, which gives it much more flexibility. It also allows them to concentrate and memorize better. However, research on the benefits that bilingualism has for the brain also has its skeptics. Being more concrete, they do not find studies that clearly determine that this advantage exists on a global scale. In what does seem to be more consensus is that learning more than one language is beneficial for the brain because it allows you to exercise and stay fit, which can help delay the onset of diseases that gradually undermine their abilities. Benefits of learning a language: increased brain volume, prevents dementia, improved math skills, improved creativity, tunes the ear, increased self-confidence and decision-making, improves memory, attention is enhanced, improves the ability to develop the mother tongue, helps to know another culture. Now, as you can see, the research is extensive on the relationship between the brain and studying a second language. But one thing is obvious, it is a benefit. So stay tuned for the next week's edition of Feedback Learnex. In the meantime, continue on your way to becoming a bilingual person.
Feedback Learnex, English Forever. Estamos en sintonía. Feedback Learnex, English Forever. English Forever.